guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be getting started with the part 3 of our text analytics series. And first of all, I would like to apologize to you guys that I delayed this for so long and it's been a few months. So yeah, let's get started. In this video, we're going to be exploring NLTK. Now, what is NLTK? NLTK is basically a natural language processing package in Python that we can essentially use to actually process text and use some of the powerful features of it as a natural language processing library to build our own text classifier, summarizer, or many other applications that are related to text analytics or natural language processing. Yeah, so why did I choose NLTK and why didn't I go for any other libraries? You might have heard of Spacey, which is one of the popular libraries in natural language processing in Python. And the reason for that is that using these libraries, you could implement functionalities such as classification or summarization in just 1 or 2 lines of code. And that is not the goal of our series. We are trying to learn the basics of these functionalities first, so that we can later use these functionalities to build our own text classifiers and summarizers from scratch. And of course, we'll be using NLTK for that. And from scratch doesn't really mean that we will be implementing everything from in raw Python, but we will actually using the power of NLTK. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can get some of the level understanding behind the scenes, exactly what's going on inside the code. So yeah, in this video, we're going to be getting started with NLTK, and I'll be actually following the approach where we'll be hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, which means that I'll be explaining some of the pre-processing techniques that are widely used to process text in natural language processing, and those are tokenization, tagging, chunking, stemming, and lemmatization. And at the same time, we'll be exploring NLTK. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm here in my Jupyter Notebook environment here, and so I will just go ahead and try to import NLTK into our environment by just typing import NLTK. And once I do that, you can see it just goes imports right away. And if you don't have NLTK, you can just type in this command pip install NLTK and just install. It will just install the library for you right away. So one thing that I need to actually tell you before you actually get started with this, and that is that if that once you install this package NLTK, it doesn't mean that you have all the things necessary to get started with this library, and you need to further download some other packages that come along with NLTK, and they're not pre-installed, so you need to install them separately. And you do that by typing in this command, which is NLTK .download. Okay, and I type this command, you can see it opens up a window for us, and it shows all the different types of collections that we have available, which is some of them have NLTK. We have all corpora, we have both popular, and I would actually highly recommend you to pause this video right now and first install these packages, most of these packages, and you could just go ahead and download these by clicking this download button right away from here, or you could just go ahead and type in this command. You can just type in all inside this download function, and it will download all the packages for you. It's going to take some time because the packages are a bit large, so you have to be a little bit patient. Okay, so yeah, so once you have downloaded these packages, you're good to go. So now what I will do is I will just go ahead and from the corpus collection of NLTK, I will just try to import. So from NLTK.corpus, I'll import a text resource, which is Gutenberg. And now you might be wondering, what is this corpus, right? And the corpus is basically in linguistics. In terms of linguistics, corpus is basically a textual resource that comprises of a structured or unstructured text that we use further for building an application, right? So corpus could be considered as a textual data set, right? So we have a collection of NLTK that has corpus, and it has a lot of sample corpuses that we can use for experimenting with our models or with our applications. All right, so yeah, so what we will do now is we will try to actually we will try to see what we have inside this, right? So what I will do is I will just try to see what exactly is inside this this Gutenberg textual corpus. And in order to actually just get a particular text, what I will do is So there's a text file corpus that we have inside this Gutenberg, and that is, I'll just go ahead and type in Gutenberg, and we can just go ahead and access some individual files from this particular function by typing in the file ID attribute here. File ID is equals, and I'll just go ahead and type in this Carol, and there are many other files available as a text file inside this Gutenberg library. And what we can do is we can just go ahead and now import this. And now what I will do is I'll just go ahead and type just print out this. So when I print this out, you can see it gives us a big text file. So whatever it was there inside this Carol ls.txt, I've just loaded that inside a variable, and it's now a string variable. Sorry, it's not actually a string variable. It's and you can see, yeah, so it's a string variable, and we have some big amount of text, and it has a lot of special characters as well. It's, as you can see, it's not a very well structured text, and we need to actually apply a lot of pre-processing techniques in order to get this in a well structured format. So what I will just go ahead and do first of all is I will just try to explore this data set, right? And one thing that you can really do is you can just go ahead and just type in length, and just print out the length of the text, and you can see it gives us the length of text. And this is not exactly the number of words, but it's actually giving us the number of characters present in this text file. And this essentially gives us a good idea of how big the data set is. And we can also apply all the slicing techniques in Python to get a particular set of text, to get a part of text from this text file. And we can do that by just typing like Alice, and I can just go ahead and just type in something like 0 and all the way up to 100 characters, and you can see it just gives us the first 100 characters and it slices the first 100 characters and shows us that part of the text. So you can see how easy it is to actually explore the text. Now that we have NLTK imported into our environment and we know how we can use it to load the raw text as an example and explore it, so it's time to actually move on to our first pre-processing technique, and that is text tokenization. And there are two types of tokenization techniques that we mainly need to understand. The first one is sentence-based tokenization, and the second one is word-based tokenization.